decade-old case of college girl Ishrat Jehan, who was termed a Lashkar operative and killed in an encounter by Gujarat Police, has now come back as a major political controversy. The BJP and the Congress are exchanging allegations so many years after her death because investigations into it have taken a curious turn. The intelligence officials who gave a tip-off about Ishrat being a Lashkar operative conspiring to kill Narendra Modi, and that tip-off led to her killing, are now being questioned by CBI. It's perhaps for the first time that these invisible officers who give tip-offs about threats now face a criminal investigation for what they want. On The Buck Stops Here tonight, we look at the implications of this development. Will this change the way intelligence officials work? Or is it right to have accountability, especially when an alert leads to extrajudicial killings? Also on the show, university admissions have started, but Delhi University faces the confusion of four-year undergraduate courses. Union Minister Shashi Tharoor speaks to us about all the controversy and why the government is endorsing this in the face of such stiff opposition. But first, a big focus this evening. CBI questioning IB officials about what led to the killing of second-year BSc student from Mumbai, Ishrat Jehan. If Gujarat Police officials, DG Vanzara and others have been arrested for doing a fake encounter on Ishrat Jehan and her associates, is the IB, which gave the initial tip-off, also at fault? NDTV Sudhir Ranjan Sen reports on a moment of crisis for the Intelligence Bureau.
A decade-old controversial anti-terror operation in Gujarat has now come back to haunt the Intelligence Bureau, India's internal intelligence agency. Four suspected Lashkar-e-Toiba operatives, including Ishrat Jehan, were killed in what later turned out to be a staged gun battle. And now, perhaps for the first time ever, two senior intelligence officials are being questioned by the Central Bureau of Investigation, which is inquiring into the alleged fake encounter. A move that has been slammed by the opposition, while the leader of the opposition, Arun Jaitley, has said in an article that the Intelligence Bureau was paying the price of the centre's Modi phobia. Gujarat Chief Minister Narendra Modi said that the CBI was being misused by the government.
आप सारी एजेंसीज को अपने निजी राजनीतिक उपयोगों के लिए कर रहे हो और उसके कारण इंस्टीट्यूशंस भी सारी आप बर्बाद कर रहे हो.
I think the Gujarat Chief Minister and some other BJP leaders are interfering with the CBI investigation. It is the CBI under directions from the Supreme Court which is questioning certain people.
Sources tell NDTV both IB officers were then posted in the field and had provided inputs about an alleged terror strike in Ahmedabad. And according to the Gujarat Police, the input led to the staged shootout. Sources tell NDTV the CBI wants to know from the officers how the IB gathered the intelligence, whether they were responsible for the encounter, and more importantly, how the input was generated. The intelligence officials in the IB have told the CBI that they had only passed on an input to warn the local police. The input didn't suggest that the Gujarat Police adopt any extrajudicial measures, and that LET links with the suspects killed have been confirmed by several, including 2611 mastermind David Coleman Headley. The questioning of two senior intelligence officials, although unprecedented, willy-nilly links up to the larger question of accountability of intelligence agencies, an issue that has been debated publicly of late. But is criminal investigation the best way out?
Of course, in this particular case, it would be as a post-mortem. So there would be limits to how value can be established in respect of inputs. It should not be made a public spectacle at all.
The criminal investigation continues, causing discomfort to the normally secretive and recluse agency used to working away from the limelight. Part of the problem lies in the fact that neither the IB nor the research and analysis wing have any legal backing and therefore do not enjoy any immunity or protection. While accountability of intelligence agencies is required, the manner and method used to ensure accountability will be key. In New Delhi, Sudhir Ranjan Sen for NDTV.
And the BJP says that this is setting a very unhealthy precedent. Leader of the opposition Arun Jaitley explains why to Parkha Dutt.
We have the case now of Ishrat Jehan, suspected or known to be a Lashkar-e-Taiba operative. In that case, the Home Ministry at that time changed its position. It started off by saying that she is a LT operative, then it said the evidence is not conclusive. Now you have an intelligence officer who actually sent his inputs being questioned by the CBI. Arun Jaitley, what is wrong if IB officers, because after all, if you look at America, there is congressional oversight over the intelligence bodies. What is wrong if an intelligence officer has to explain his or her
I don't
input?
mind if you have a department under the Prime Minister or under the Home Minister or some body where intelligence agencies become accountable. But this whole process of being accountable to the police, I think is a very dangerous step. What is the intelligence agency going to say? How does it collect information on cross-border communications of the Lashkar-e-Taiba? How does it do the intercepts? What is the funding sources on basis of which it has espionage in the enemy camp? Does it collect evidence entirely by legal methodologies, or does it deploy some extra legal methodologies also? How does it process that intelligence information? What is the authenticity of that? Does it cross-verify this? Now, if all this were to become subject to investigative agencies and then subject to judicial review by court, I think it will be a very serious threat to India's national security. There are some bodies which are faceless, and it's only better in a country which is so vulnerable in terms of national security that they remain faceless.
And so that's what we're discussing. Should the IB be made accountable? Should they be questioned for the leads that they give, for the alerts that they generate? Let's ask our panelists that. Joining us this evening, Shantaram Naik, he's Rajya Sabha MP of the Congress and spokesperson. Meenakshi Lekhi, also spokesperson for the BJP. Rana Banerjee, former RNAW Special Secretary, and also VK Singh, another RNAW official. And Niranjan Sahu, someone who is a senior fellow at the Observer Research Foundation and who's worked on a private member bill to bring all the intelligence agency undercover to make them more accountable. If I can start with you, Shantaram Naik, what would you say to the BJP's allegation that the government is yet again using the CBI, and they feel that it's only because they want to get to Narendra Modi?
Yeah, if I recollect well, excuse me for my bad throat, it appears so chue khakar billi gayi haj, that is what we say. If you see Narendra Modi's activities in the last 9 years, that is what we see. After doing all that he has done, I recollect the role of Hitler and Pol Pot coming or shading into or peeping into windows of this country. And unfortunately, BJP's executive body meeting in Goa on 7th, 9th, 8th and 9th, it will be blot on Goa secularism that BJP should meet and project Mr. Modi.
So, but we're not talking about Mr. Narendra Modi. We are talking about the working of... We're talking about the working of IB and IB officials. Do you think the BJP says that you're using the CBI, to actually get to, in fact, they're saying that, in fact, Arun Jaitley has said that IB is just a victim in all of this because the CBI...
Arun Jaitley says that our aim is to pinpoint towards Modi. He has said it very clearly.
Yes.
How can you say that Mr. Modi is not involved in this? And we must conclude that this is a Supreme Court monitored case, and CBI is entitled to interrogate anybody to whom CBI thinks proper to investigate and get evidence.
Okay, Meenakshi Lekhi, would you like to respond to that? This is something which P. Chidambaram also said earlier in the day, that it is an SIT case, we don't control them. If they want to feel that it's necessary to interrogate IB officials, it's their problem. How would you respond to that?
Mr. Chidambaram happens to be a lawyer, and I don't know the gentleman who was speaking before me whether he has any legal knowledge or not.
Yeah.
Mr. Nayak, I don't know whether he has any legal knowledge or not. Mr. Nayak gave the example of Pol Pot.
May I inform you? Madam,
I'm sorry, I can't see you. I can't see you, and
he's actually the standing committee. He's in charge of the standing committee on law and legal affairs. So I think, yeah, he is.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. So if he's a chairman on the standing committee of law and legal affairs, then he has to be versed in law, and he has to be versed with the history of this country. If there is any Pol Pot or Hitler in this country, this was Mrs. Gandhi, who packed people after people into the jails and disrobed the country with constitutional mandate. And coming from that party, the Mussolinis and Hitlers, they are talking about somebody who's third time chief minister of a particular state. And IB will change its affidavit in the court of law with the change of ministers. Is that the law of the nation? The answer is quite correctly, this is not the law. And definitely all the operatives who are functioning in this country, who are the intelligence officers, they are all undercover. And undercover people, their cover cannot be blown because it suits them politically. We have seen the Supreme Court has also said that how CBI is misused by this government, and we will see in short while how NIA is misused. There are 3 investigations into the same case by the ATS, by the CBI, and then NIA.
Yes.
After how many years? 2004. And there are several indicators, whether it's the LET operatives, whether it's the websites, whether it's the transfer petition, whether it's the intelligence reports, everything goes to show that this woman was an LET operator. And worst of all, the news is coming from across the border. And yet this government can misuse and abuse the intelligence agencies, and can abuse even the security network of this country.
Okay.
This is what this government has reduced the national issues to be.
Okay, Ms. Lekhi, I just want to clarify to all the viewers there, these are just allegations, and there have been conflicting opinions about whether she's a Lashkar operative or not. You're right, there were some reports that David Headley has taken a name, but that has been denied in certain circles as well. But we are going to focus on the fact,
Sunitra,
on some of the issues that you raised.
You
You raised some right issues, and I want them to respond to that perhaps, on whether we're talking about IB officials being questioned. That's it. That's what we're discussing, not about the case of Ishrat Jehan, but IB officials being questioned.
affidavit being changed.
Yes, yes.